This is day 690 of early retirement. We are currently in Zagreb, Croatia. We've been here since the middle of July and we're gonna leave in September. So here's a bit of what our place looks like. You can see we have the green screen here so that we can do our little skit style videos. John's right here, say hi. This is a little studio kind of look, right? You can see the kitchen's over here. We've been cooking more too while we've been here. So we didn't cook the entire 9 months traveling until we were here because again, I really like Asian food. I start craving it a lot. So then we decided it would make more sense if we cooked it ourselves. We're not very good cooks, but you know, we do what we can. We have a little bathroom over here. So this studio is a lot less spacious than what we had in Asia, in Taiwan, and in Japan. We had 2 bedrooms, but the 2-bedroom places were $1,400 a month, and this place is only $780 or so per month. So we're saving a lot of money just being here. Also, the landlord slash property manager comes by every 10 days and cleans this place, and he restocks the supplies. So it's really great that this place is always made nice for us every few days. I actually really like this space. I think it's very comfortable, but I think it's a little small for Sean's taste. But what I realize is being here, it's kind of like how I live in America, which I don't think is the best thing. So what do I mean by that? So I am more productive when I'm here, kind of like in America, but I feel like I am more sedentary when I'm here. So I don't walk as much as I used to in Asia. And in America, I was averaging maybe 3,000 steps a day, probably less. The only reason why I'd be higher is just because I'd go to the gym and hit the elliptical sometimes. But normally I would just be at home and I wouldn't go out much. I mean, it makes sense because we normally drive to every place. In America, it's not as walkable. Here in Zagreb, I feel like when I go outside downstairs, there's not as much to do. There's not as much to eat. There's not as much to kind of see. It's also because we're not living near the city center and the types of food that I like Asian food. I don't get that as much here. If I were to go get that, I have to kind of go a little further out. So we sometimes get delivery here with Bolt food. And by the way, meals cost about maybe 10 to 15 euros, I would say, per meal. So it's not as cheap as it was in Asia, like in Taiwan and Japan. I was usually spending less than $10 per meal. It's also extremely hot outside right now. So during these months, it's been over 90 degrees. Whereas when I was in Asia, it was probably 80s or 70s, depending on the months. And that heat is definitely a barrier as well. But as compared to other places, I actually sleep better in Croatia. And I think that is the lack of stimulation. Like for example, in Tokyo, there's so much to do, right? There's so much to see, always lively, always exciting. Whereas here, I feel like it's a little more chill. So I'm definitely sleeping better here. I think it's also because I am more productive, have better routine over here. The beds here are also pretty comfortable as well. So I think my mind is able to wind down better. So I guess as a routine, I just watch TV before I sleep, and I watch something more boring, not something too exciting, so that I get a little bit more tired. All right, for the first half of this trip, I was sleeping maybe around 1 and then waking up at a more decent hour, 8 to 10 or something like that. And then afterwards, I started sleeping around 3 a.m. and then waking up at 11. We woke up at 12 today, so it's pretty bad, but I think it's fine for me. As long as I get my sleep, I'm happy. When I have insomnia, I'm just really sad and really upset. All right, we're gonna head out now. Sean right here is taking out the trash, and I'll show you guys where we take out the trash here. You can see there's a little hallway here. What they did was they split this into 2 rooms here. So this area is always dark because every time you have to press a switch right here so that you can turn on the light. I guess it's energy efficient, maybe, that they're saving energy. Alright, this is the outside courtyard area. There's a little playground out here. We don't really hang out there that much. Let's keep going out here. Alright, this is a little dollar store that they have over here. This is where we throw out the trash, but I don't actually throw out the trash. He does everything for me. Thank you, Sean. Alright, I want to show you guys where we go to the gym here. Alright, so as you can see, it's a very close walk. This is the gym over here, but on Sundays, basically a lot of things are closed. This is a Play Fitness Center. So yeah, a lot of things are closed on Sundays, so it's closed right now. We pay about $65 per month for this place, but a weird thing is they require extra shoes. So you can't go in with your walking shoes. You have to go get another clean pair. So we had to go to that dollar store that I was talking about and buy new shoes, but it was only $3, so it's like really cheap. But I really like the machines at this gym. So it's actually one of like the bigger gyms here, and it's pretty nice. And I realized that because there's like a smaller barrier of entry for me to go to the gym, I actually went pretty often as compared to the ones in Asia. I didn't really go to the ones in Japan and Taiwan as often because it was a lot further. So that's something I want to keep in mind for where I want to live in the future, that like if I want to have better habits, I need to just like remove some of the barriers of entry for me to participate in those habits, whether it's exercise, whether it's walking around, eating better foods. I need to think about that a little bit more.
I don't like the fact that things are closed on Sundays, especially the gym. Considering we are spending a good amount of money here compared to the other gyms that we normally spend on. Like on average, we usually pay under $30 a month. So here is double the price, and they're not open on certain hours. So for me, it's okay. But again, the proximity is really nice. It kind of bums me out that there's not too much more to do in this actual vicinity. We have to take a train to go to the city center to actually do something else. But even then, things are closed on Sunday. So, okay.
Now I want to show you guys the city center. So we're going to go to the train and metro. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So you know what, the European architecture, I really love seeing it, but you don't see it as much around our place if you see over here. So it kind of deters me from going out as well. But if you go into the city center, you see it a lot more. So we're gonna take you guys over there now. So we normally walk around here to catch the metro. I don't know if the metro is going on right now. If it's not, then we'll probably need to take like an Uber or Bolt or whatever. Over here is where we go to the supermarket. So we normally don't take this bus. I don't even know if it goes the right way. Hopefully it's going the right way. But we normally take the metro, and I guess they're closed down right now. So we're heading over to the city center. I want to show you guys what that looks like. Another thing I wanted to mention is the tickets cost about 60 cents, and you validate it in the front or in the back. And the tickets are 30 minutes or 60 minutes or one full day. It depends on which ticket you buy. So the 30-minute ones only cost 60 cents, and that's the one we usually buy. And we'll buy it at those kiosks that you'll see around the city. And you buy like a pack of maybe 10 or something, so that, you know, it's good for both of us for like a while. But you can also buy it at like the bus or the metro if you want to. But I think it's like kind of weird because it holds everyone up, and it costs more if you do it that way. We are now at the city center. We actually did a walking tour over here. They have these free walking tours all over Europe, like in different countries. I would definitely recommend you guys do that when you guys go to Europe. Like first day, use that to check out the different sites and then like explore by yourself. You can actually see it right now. They're actually doing a free walking tour right now. If you ever see those umbrellas, that means they're doing one. So the city center is a lot smaller than a lot of like the other city centers in other European countries that I've seen. And I would say that Zagreb is a big city. It is the biggest city in Croatia, but it feels very small. The city center is a lot smaller than other places. So we just end up staying at home a lot of the times because of that. It might be good for our productivity, but it would be nice if there were more things, more activities. I would say a lot of people love Croatia, right? They love Split, Dubrovnik, Zadar. Like those places are near the water, and we haven't experienced that yet. We are gonna go to Zadar and Dubrovnik later. So I wish we kind of chose one of those cities, but it was cheaper for accommodations here, and I did get more done. I had better sleep here, so I don't regret it at all. I had a good time. So don't hate me for saying that if you guys are from here, but you know, I did get a lot done. It's a chill time. I had a good time. So let's keep walking. We're gonna go to a museum right now. So right now we're heading to the Museum of Hangovers, which we haven't been to, but we went to the Museum of Broken Relationships, and I thought it was like one of my favorite museums. It basically featured the stories of different breakups, and it was funny, but also very emotional for some of them, and I thought it was very unique. So I think what I like about Zagreb, it has like really quirky museums, very different from other cities in that sense. Another thing I really liked is we were able to find some nomad friends here. We just didn't hang out as often because we have each other. Honestly, because we nomad together, there isn't as much like feelings of loneliness or homesickness. Like, he's my home, so it's just been like nice traveling together. But I wanted to show him what it was like to meet other people who were doing the same things. So I went on Nomad List and I found like a friend there. Nomad List is basically a hub for digital nomads to find other digital nomads in their area. So they have a whole chat section where you can meet other people in different countries. And I've used it back in 2016 and 2018 to find other friends in different countries that I was visiting. And then an interesting thing is he actually found this like WhatsApp group of other expats, and I joined that group and we had like a board game night. We hung out with some of the same people that we hung out with the first time. So in a sense, I feel like we could have made a little like community here if we wanted to, but we've been traveling a lot too, so we didn't have as much of a chance to hang out. So another great thing is this proximity to like a lot of these other European countries, where I got to visit Slovenia, Serbia, Austria, Malta. We also went to the Olympics in France. So that was another like whole experience that we never thought we would be able to do. And it was really fun. So during this whole time of early retirement, financial freedom, we've been able to do more bucket list items, including the Olympics, including visiting more countries. So one of my goals is 100 countries before 100. And now after we hit Montenegro and Albania, I'm gonna be at 40 countries, which I'm really excited about. So we're gonna be doing that in a few days. Okay, we have found the Museum of Hangovers. Sean is scared of the sun, so as you can see, he's hiding over here. All right, let's head over. All right, so we got our tickets. It's about like 10 bucks a ticket. I decided to get the full experience and get a beer at the Museum of Hangovers. So that was like another $3-4 bucks. And we're gonna head over. All right, we just finished the Hangover Museum, and it was kind of like the Museum of Broken Relationships, where they had different stories from different people but this one was about drunken nights out, basically. And it was pretty fun. What do you think?
It's fun hearing stories of people getting messed up, but similar to our own experiences, so
At the end, they give you like a free shot too. So I had mine and his, and I had a beer. So I'm gonna drink some water right now. And then we went to the supermarket over here.
So over here is a Consum, which is like a typical grocery store. But it's what's interesting that it's kind of like Amazon's like, I guess like wireless or cashless system, where you don't even have to like, this is like one of those, yeah, you don't have to check out. What you do is you go in here, you put a $10 deposit on your credit card that you get back if you don't use it. You go in there and cameras track your every movement. So you go in there, grab all the things you want. I got a candy bar and some water, and then they just know what you got. So when you walk out, they'll charge you and send you an email and your receipt. So very convenient, very fast. Takes some time to get in the door, but once you're inside, then you just walk out. So it's pretty nice.
So we're currently at Good Food. This is attached to another sushi restaurant, as you can see here. I'm just filming it, but I'm sitting in the sushi area. We've been here a couple times, but it's not like our main spot. We normally just get like Bolt food, or we just like Uber to like an Asian restaurant or something like that. That's usually what we end up doing. This meal was about 20 bucks, so I will show you guys what that looks like. All right, here's our food. We got an avocado chicken burger with fries and some salad here. So what has it been like traveling in Europe versus Asia?
It definitely feels different. In Asia, I feel more like I'm at home. I'm one of many people out there. Here, obviously, we stand out. And in Asia, things seem a little bit more convenient, a little bit cheaper as well. People here are obviously very friendly. But if I were to choose between Europe and Asia long term, I prefer Asia.
I think for me, I really love like the architecture in Europe and the vibes in Europe. I feel like unmatched. You can't really get that outdoor eating, like looking around and you see like a bunch of people just like enjoying life all the time. And I don't know, the water views sometimes, you don't really get water views here, but like there are a lot of European countries you get that water view and you get like that old architecture. You can't get that anywhere else, I feel like. So I really love that about Europe. So that's why I like coming back in like May, June. That's like my favorite time to go. But I agree in terms of like where I'd want to live, for example. Like I prefer Asia, America, I guess. But I think that it's like a great place to vacation to. I also love that like being here, I've been able to tackle way more countries. I've already traveled a lot throughout Asia, but here I think I'm going to add Montenegro, Albania, Croatia, because I've never been here before, Slovenia, Malta, Serbia, Austria. I think 7. I was able to add 7 countries on this list, which I'm very happy about. And there's still a bunch of European countries that I haven't been before, so I'm like trying to hit those up in the future. I also feel like these countries are not as popular as, you know, the Western European countries. And I think it actually has a lot to offer. Like I loved going to actually Ljubljana in Slovenia. That was really great. There's probably a lot of places here that I haven't experienced, and I think there's a lot to offer. For example, Prague and Budapest, they're amazing. Like I really enjoyed my time there as well. It's just I've already been there, so I didn't want to like go there again. But there are a lot of places in the world I feel like that aren't highlighted, and a lot of people don't visit these spots, but there are a lot of great places in the world that people should travel to. And I'm happy that I can bring Sean along through these travels. I think that I've learned more about where I want to be in the future, and I'm trying to also kind of embrace in this journey like what I really want in terms of my life, in terms of where I want to live. I think that it's easy to follow what everyone else is doing. So usually travel for me is kind of like self-discovery for me, trying to figure out like what I really want with my own life. So I definitely got a lot of that from here. I realized, for example, like I mentioned, that like the barrier of entry thing is very important to me. For me to develop healthy habits, I have to be in a place where I am encouraged to like walk more, to exercise more, or to eat healthier. So these are things that I'm going to take into consideration in the future. Now moving forward, we're actually going to go back to America in September. By the time this video is out, it might already be September and I might be in America already. But I'm actually pretty excited for that. I'm not like particularly homesick, but I do kind of want to see my family. I want to see my friends. And then we're gonna go back out to Asia again in October. I'm actually very happy that Sean is happy with these travels. This is something that I wanted to show him. Long-term travel, right? I wanted to see if he liked it, and it seems like he's been enjoying it so far. So I'm happy to experience this with him, and I hope that the future travels are still gonna be great, and we're gonna still see a lot of the world and just discover things about ourselves that guide us to what we wanna do with our lives. So yeah, that's about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'll see you guys in the next one.